This is TV 10 and 55 Focus, a program dealing with issues affecting everyone on Long Island and the tri-state area. Now your host, Richard Rose.
Hi, I'm Richard Rose and welcome to Focus. Today it's our pleasure to have a debate between the two major candidates for Suffolk County Executive come November, and let me introduce them to you right now, and that is the Republican candidate for Suffolk County Executive, Suffolk County Treasurer Angie Carpenter. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And the Democratic candidate for Suffolk County Executive, Bellone Town Supervisor Steve Bellone, also welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rich. Great to be here.
Before we start, let me just explain. We're going to have 45-second opening statements. They already drew cards to decide who would go first, and that would be Steve Bellone, and you have 45 seconds for your opening statement, Steve.
Great. Thank you very much, Rich. And I want to thank TV 55 for hosting this debate. And most of all, thank you for watching at home. We're facing a terrible crisis in our county, a fiscal crisis. We have a $180 million structural deficit, a budget just released that's $125 million out of balance, and a debt that's doubled in the last 8 years. On top of that, we have regional challenges that pose long-term risks to our economy. We need a county executive with executive experience to tackle these problems. I have a 10-year record in Bellone as town supervisor of cutting taxes, reducing the size of government, and making government work, making it both efficient and effective. I intend to bring that record to the county executive's office so we can grow our economy and bring prosperity to Suffolk.
All right, right on 45 seconds. So you folks are going to be fine with this, I can see. And now the Republican candidate, Angie Carpenter, your opening statement, Angie.
And likewise, thank you for this opportunity today. Really appreciate it. And just want to open up by saying that I too have experience. I have real solid county experience. I was a member of the Suffolk County Legislature for nearly 13 years, having served on every committee in the legislature, so I know this county inside and out. Then I went to serve as the county's treasurer, and I've been there 5.5 years. So when we talk about the fiscal challenges that we face, when we talk about deficits, when we talk about the financial challenges, we need someone who understands that totally. I'm the one that has met with the rating agencies. I'm the one that is sitting there with the county's checkbook and understanding what needs to be paid and how we can do it. And understanding that preparing budgets is one thing, but when you have to sit there with the checkbook, it really brings it all home.
Okay, very good. So let me get right to the questions, because there's a lot of major issues that voters want to know where you both stand come this November, wanting this job of Suffolk County Executive. Let me ask you first, Angie. Will you reverse the decision announced by Steve Levy to lay off hundreds of county workers if there are not union concessions?
Well, first of all, the decision by the county executive to lay off county workers now goes to the legislature. And I think that's something that we have to keep in mind here, that the county executive is just that, the county executive, and heads the executive branch of government. We have a legislative branch, and they have to work together. So the county executive proposes a budget, the legislature disposes the budget. So I'm waiting to see what the legislature does, but I have said before, and I will say it again, layoffs are not a recipe for success. Laying people off just makes more people unemployed, and some of the towns in this county have high rates of unemployment, and it's something that we need to address. So I don't think we want to contribute to it by laying people off.
Steve.
I don't think that layoffs are the best strategy. I would look for other alternatives, but frankly, I'm the only candidate in this race right now who actually has experience streamlining government. I have significantly reduced the size of our government in Bellone by about 24% since I became supervisor, but I did it not through layoffs, through attrition, through working with our public sector employees to figure out how we become more efficient and productive. And because of that, we've been able to maintain a high level of services despite the fact that we've reduced the size of government, and we're saving taxpayers tens of millions of dollars as a result.
A rebuttal?
Well, when we talk about experience, having the experience of streamlining government is something that I did as a member of the Suffolk County Legislature. When you're a member of the legislature, you are in a policy-making decision. So very often the legislature can affect more policy than the county executive did. We did streamline government when I was a member of the county legislature. We had tax cuts. We had consolidations of departments. So this is nothing that is foreign to me, and I truly have that Suffolk County governmental experience.
Steve.
I think there's a contrast in our records here. I have a 10-year record of actually doing the hard work of reducing government significantly. And it's not easy to do, and it's a tough challenge. And my opponent, Angie, she has, I think, a record in the Treasurer's office of actually increasing the size of government when she first came in, adding a third deputy to the office and actually trying to add 9 employees just recently to the office, which would have made it larger than it was before she took office. And I think that's an important distinction between the two candidates here. We need to be streamlining government, and I have a record that shows I know how to get it done.
I'll allow additional rebuttal if you feel the need.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you bringing that up, because it has been brought up, and it's been brought up by people in the campaign and not necessarily the candidate. So I'm delighted that you brought it up here. I have fewer employees in the department today as I sit there as the county treasurer than I had when we came into the treasurer's office. I did not add a third deputy. We do not have 3 deputies in the county treasurer's office. We have a deputy and a chief county treasurer deputy. That is the way it has been from day one. So talking about adding 9 positions, I think we're getting our facts confused. What happened was that when our budget presentation went in this year, the budget person in the department inadvertently put the 9 vacant positions in with funding. When I learned of that, I immediately contacted the county executive's budget office and said that those positions were to remain unfilled, not funded. So we have not added 1 penny. In fact, we have cut.
Well, I think the record is clear here for my record, and I'll take Angie at her word on that. We have significantly reduced the size of government in Babylon over a 10-year period, and that's something that the next county executive is going to know how to do. To how you reduce a big government like that, reduce it in size, but still make it function well, and we've been able to do that in Babylon.
All right, we got to move on to another issue. What will you do, Steve, to help create affordable housing to keep young people from leaving Long Island?
You know, housing is one of the most critical issues we face, and it's one of the big regional challenges. Our young people continue to leave at record rates, and that is something that we cannot sustain. It means we are in this slow decline, so we need to reverse that. Housing is the critical component, and the fact is we don't have enough quality, affordable rental housing for young people. When they come back home from college, they have a choice. They can move back with their parents, they can rent an illegal apartment, or unfortunately, they can move to other parts of the country, and too many are choosing to do that. That's why I've been a leader in the region in proposing transit-oriented developments. I created the first municipal office of downtown revitalization. We can build this kind of housing in our downtowns in a way that also strengthens our small businesses and helps create vibrant downtowns. And as county executive, I would also help move forward projects like Heartland and the Ronkonkoma project that will help build these new housing developments.
Angie?
Affordable housing certainly is a very key component of our economy. And I think that sometimes we miss the big picture here. We need to have less government. We need to have less bureaucracy. We need to streamline the process so affordable housing projects can move forward. Now, I hear my opponent saying that he's supporting the Heartland project. That project has been on the books for 10 years. We have an affordable housing project that is being built now in the town of Islip in the hamlet of Bayshore. 40 units of affordable housing. It took that developer 5 years to get the permission to put the shovel in the ground. This is precisely why we're having the problem. We need to think outside the box. We need to look at things like intergenerational housing, and it is something that I am committed to addressing.
A rebuttal?
Well, if Angie is saying that she thinks the next county executive needs to be able to reform government, then I'm the person. I've done it in Babylon for 10 years. We have, as I said, reduced the size of government, but we've made it work because every day in Babylon, we are figuring out how to become more productive and efficient. And what we've done in Babylon is to actually build accountability structures within the fabric of your organization, because unlike the private sector, government doesn't have a bottom line that drives efficiency. So unless you want massive inefficiency in your government, you've got to figure out how to make accountability happen. And we've done it in Babylon, and I will do it in Suffolk County.
Angie.
Well, see, there really is a real difference, and I think our viewers are getting to see that. There is accountability that has to be had in government. Government has to address the bottom line. Government can't be there thinking it's immune to the good, sound business practices. And I think when we start operating things as a business, when we empower our employees to understand that there are outcomes that are going to be expected, and they are geared and ready to do that. They want an environment of appreciation and respect for the work that they do for this county, and this county executive with Suffolk County, real county experience and business experience, is very well poised to do so.
All right, we have to take a break here, but we have so much more to ask our candidates for Suffolk County Executive. Stay with us.